The trails that lead people to poverty in the cities often begin in remote places, such as the rugged Sierra Madre mountain range of eastern Luzon. It contains nearly 1/3 of the country's remaining rainforests. The valleys around it are among the most fertile agricultural areas in the Philippines. These natural blessings are being threatened by logging.
Only crosses here stand where once grew forests, a place called Tanawan, midway between Gabaldon, Nueva Ecija, and Dingalan, Aurora. Two towns divided by a provincial boundary, but whose fates are linked by the ecology. Gabaldon is an ecological disaster after decades of logging destroyed its watershed. Dingalan still has much of its watershed left, but its wood-centered economy threatens to consume what remains of its forests.
Ang kagubatan na hinatulan ng kamatayan. Sa matagal na panahon, ang kagubatan ay nagkaloob ng buhay at kagandahan sa Pilipinas. Ito ay nagbigay ng tubig sa kailugan at mga isda, bumubuhay sa bulaklak at mga pananim, at nagbibigay ng tahanan sa mga hayop at mga ibon. Ngayon ito'y hinatulan ng kamatayan upang makatugon sa sinasabing pag-unlad. Kinakailangang isakripisyo ang mga ilog, lupa, kagubatan, mga hayop, ibon at mga bulaklak.
On Good Friday for the past 4 years, residents of both towns have marched to Tanawan to symbolize their common struggle to protect their environment. They plan to cross to show that their concern is tied to their faith, giving them the strength to carry on.
Ginagawa namin ito para unti-unting imulat ang tao sa kahalagahan ng kahoy. Hindi ko po pwedeng sabihing nananampalataya ako, pero hindi ko naman nakikita ang aking pananagutan sa aking paligid. Totoong, hindi ko po pwedeng sabihin na nananampalataya ako kung pinababayaan ko naman yung mga tao na pinagkatiwala sa akin. Pero kung ang orientation natin ay para magkamal lang sa lapi, kung ang orientation ay para lalong kilalanin, palagi ko mahirap ito. Pero kung ang orientasyon para sa mga mahirap, mas magiging lantay ang gagawing pangangalaga sa kalikasan.
Ang Gabaldon ay isang valley community, mga 172 kilometers away from Manila. At ito'y napapaligiran ng Sierra Madre Ranges. Ito ay merong humigit kumulang mga 20,000 taong naninirahan na ang kabuhayan ay nasa pagsasaka, pagtatanim ng gulay, at ang iba ay nasa pagkakahoy. Ang aming komunidad ay nagsimula na magkaroon ng problema ng gumanti na ang kalikasan para sa amin. Ngayon ay napakalakas ng mga tubig na dumarating galing sa bundok, may kasama mga bato. At subalit patuloy pa rin ang pagpuputol ng mga puno kahit na may lagba na sa Nueva Ecija noon pang 1978. Kaya ang nangyari, siguro parang Pilipinas, nailabas ang natural resources, humirap ang Gabaldon, ano?
Looking out on the Pacific Ocean, Dingalan could one day become a great port and gateway to central Luzon. About 12 kilometers away from Gabaldon, the air is still fresh and the forests are thick. The coastline is long and scenic enough for tourism. Instead, Dingalan's potential is turning to dust. Sawdust.
Sumulat yung kapatid ko doon sa Samar na dito raw sa Dingalan maganda ang hanap buhay dahil sa pag-uuling. Dahil nakakapag-aral daw dito ang kanilang mga anak sa pag-high school. Kaya kami pumunta rito dahil gusto namin mapag-aral ang aming mga anak dahil sa pag-uuling.
Ang pagkakaalam ko, ang unang hanap buhay ng mga tao dito ay sa pangingisda, sapagkat maganda nga ang fishing ground. Pero dumating yung panahon at about mga 1930s na marami ng mga tao from Bicol and then Visaya ang nagpunta dito. So doon nag-umpisa din ang pagtatayo ng mga iba't ibang community for logging purposes.
But this wood-dependent culture starts deep in the forests of this municipality, where plant and animal life is still diverse, hardwood trees are abundant, and the rivers still clean. The native dwellers here are Dumagats. several hundred tribal people who used to live off the forest. Today, the Dumagats are among those who have been branded illegal loggers.
Talagang api na kami.
Paano po?
Sa harap buhay dito, nauubusan kami. Kami ho ay tigareton talaga. Dito kami na sinilang ng mga magulang. Ay kami nauubusan ng tigareto.
Ano po yung nangyari sa troso rito?
Ay nauubusan ng mga Tagalog.
Anong ginawa nila?
Tinutumbawan. Tapos naalog dito sa ilog na ito.
So noon po, hindi naman kayo nangangahoy ngayon?
Hindi ho namin ginagalaw ang mga kahon na yan.
Bakit ngayon?
Nagagaya na ho kami sa mga layo yung mga Tagalog.
Bakit yung ginagaya?
Nagkakapera ho sila.
So gusto niya rin magkapera ngayon?
Oo, binibili namin ng pagkain.
Most of the remaining forests are on mountains like this. Logs are rolled down the slopes where carabaos are harnessed to bring them to the river. This log will earn these cutters less than 1,000 pesos. The malasapote tree it came from took about 25 years to grow.
Logging in these forests was started by giant wood companies, which acquired concessions here through connections in Manila. They share in the bounty of the forests by destroying it. Most of the men who engage in carabao logging are migrants from impoverished lowland areas. Many started out as workers in the logging camps here. Others found their way inside the forests by following the roads that logging companies built. Several thousand hectares are being cut here every year. It's hard to tell just how much, because much of it is illegal. Since the New People's Army forced out the concessionaire security men several years ago, it's been open season on the forests here. In a sense, logging has been democratized. Almost anyone can cut down a tree, float it down the river, and sell it to sawmills in Umiray. A culture that is based on the harvesting of trees regards timber as the only product of the country's forests. But water and soil are also produced by the same forests, along with an infinite variety of plant and animal life. When you remove the trees, you destroy almost everything else. This lush landscape along the Umiray River is part of the Coronel watershed. Over 100,000 hectares are being controlled and logged by three powerful groups. The Philippine military, which controls the Fort Magsaysay Military Reservation, the Inter-Pacific Forest Resources Incorporated, a logging company that has a 50,000 hectare concession here, and the Gopansoy family from Manila, which owns this chunk of the watershed. By virtue of a loophole, the Gopansoys of Tondo are exempted from a law that prohibits mountainous lands from being privately owned. In the 1960s, Roberto Gopansoy bought 28,000 hectares of premium forest here, with a Spanish title as proof of ownership. Under the present system, the government routinely ignores the ancestral rights of tribes, but it chooses to honor a Spanish colonial title over land, which is vital to the ecosystem of our island. Manila may soon feel the effects of the plunder of this forest. The Umiray River is scheduled to become a major source of drinking water for Metro Manila's growing population. A $3 billion tunnel is being drilled through the mountains to channel water from the river to Angat Dam, Manila's reservoir.
Dahil kasi doon sa tayo ng ilog na ito, sinukat nga nila 13 kilometers lang maililipat ng tubig. Ang balak ho ng tiga Nawasa, magtatayo sila ng diki. Dahil na rin sa paggamit ng tao na sobra-sobra, ay kulang na at aming binisita rin yung pundasyon na pinagkukunan, talagang burak na yung lumalabas. Ay patuloy na bumababa ang level.
Sa Angat?
Sa Angat. Kaya kung hindi masusuportahan ang kanilang tansya sa 1994, wala nang isusuporta. Kaya kinakailangan ay madagdagan yung tubig sa Angat na manggagaling dito sa Umiray River.
Despite its importance, the watershed here is rapidly being destroyed by loggers, many of whom continue to operate here, legally.